Operation Desert Storm. This is the story of a major military operation that took place in 1991. It started when many countries around the world came together to stop something unfair that was happening in the Middle East. Iraq, led by Saddam Hussein, invaded its smaller neighbor, Kuwait, in August 1990 and took control of it without permission. There were several reasons why Iraq invaded Kuwait. Iraq claimed Kuwait belonged to them and accused Kuwait of taking too much oil from shared underground oil fields. Another reason was that Iraq wanted more money. After fighting a long, expensive war with Iran, Iraq owed many countries billions of dollars. Some historians believe Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait to take its oil and wealth as a quick solution to Iraq's financial problems. Most countries believe this was wrong because Kuwait, like every other independent nation, has the right to control its own land. So the world reacted strongly. The United Nations, UN, told Iraq to leave Kuwait immediately, but Iraq refused. After they noticed that peaceful talks weren't working, many countries then decided to help rescue Kuwait. Over 35 nations joined the mission, including the United States, the United Kingdom, France, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and others. But before they began Operation Desert Storm, they first carried out Operation Desert Shield, where they placed troops in the region to protect Saudi Arabia from being attacked next. When Iraq continued refusing to withdraw from Kuwait, the coalition launched Operation Desert Storm on January 17, 1991. It became one of the most widely broadcast operations in history, with millions watching from their homes as events unfolded live on TV. The first phase of Operation Desert Storm was the air campaign, which started just after midnight on January 17, 1991. Instead of sending ground troops right away, the coalition used airplanes, satellites, and advanced technology to weaken Iraq's military from the sky. It was one of the largest and most organized air operations ever carried out. The air campaign had several goals. 1. Destroy Iraq's communication networks so their military couldn't coordinate. 2. Limit Iraq's ability to control the skies by disabling aircraft and runways. 3. Reduce the power of Iraq's armor and weapons systems. 4. Protect coalition forces and civilians. Coalition planes included fighter jets, bombers, radar aircraft, refueling tankers, and even early versions of guided smart weapons. Over the next 38 days, coalition aircraft flew more than 100,000 missions. They targeted radar stations, bridges, military bases, missile sites, and supply storage. The goal wasn't to destroy everything. It was to make Iraq's forces unable to continue the invasion of Kuwait. The air campaign also included the Scud hunt. Iraq fired Scud missiles at neighboring countries, including Israel and Saudi Arabia. But special planes and radar systems were used to track and destroy these launchers. The world had never seen an operation this high-tech before. People watching on TV could see night vision footage, green radar screens, and glowing trails from aircraft. It became clear that technology was changing the future of warfare. This phase made the ground campaign much faster and safer. After the air campaign had weakened Iraq's forces, the coalition launched the ground campaign on February 24, 1991. What surprised many people was how short it was. Only 100 hours, just over 4 days. But even though it was short, it involved huge planning and coordination. The coalition ground forces included armies from many nations. They used tanks, armored vehicles, helicopters, engineers, and support teams. The most famous strategy used was called the left hook. This wasn't an attack from the front. Instead, coalition troops moved far out into the desert, circled around Iraq's army, and attacked from the side and behind. This smart move surprised Iraq's military and dramatically sped up the mission. Meanwhile, other units moved into Kuwait directly to push Iraqi forces out. Many Iraqi soldiers surrendered quickly because they realized they were outmatched and had already been weakened by the air campaign. On February 27, 1991, coalition forces successfully entered Kuwait City, and the city's people celebrated their freedom. The next day, the coalition declared a ceasefire because their main goal, freeing Kuwait, had been achieved. After Operation Desert Storm ended, Kuwait was free again, and Iraqi forces were pushed back to their own country. But the end of the mission didn't mean everything instantly returned to normal. There were many things the world had to deal with after the conflict. In Kuwait, buildings, oil fields, and roads needed repair. When Iraq retreated, they set fire to many oil wells, causing thick smoke and environmental problems. Many countries sent firefighters, engineers, and experts to help put out the fires and rebuild the country. It took several months to fix everything. Iraq faced consequences for invading Kuwait. The United Nations required Iraq to allow inspectors into their country to make sure they weren't creating dangerous nuclear weapons. Iraq also had to follow new rules limiting their military power. These rules lasted for many years.